What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, short news story, but very important one. Splinter Cell is back, according to rumors. And obviously, it depends on if you believe these things, but I really don't see a reason to not believe it. Video Game Chronicle is definitely one of the better leakers, rumor sites, like actual sites, not just on Reddit, that we've seen, I'd say, over the past couple of years. And actually, I didn't even know this when I was first reading it, but this was actually posted by Tom Henderson. So, obviously, he's got his whole repertoire, and stuff he's really good at as well. And basically, what this breaks down to is that Ubisoft has greenlit, again, based off these rumors, they've greenlit a new Splinter Cell game that's in very early development, but could be announced next year, just because. And the reason they're doing it is to win back frustrated fans based off of what they've done in the past, year or two with Splinter Cell by making the mobile game and the VR game on it. So I don't, well, here's the deal. Number one, we won. And I tweeted that, right? I literally said, we have won. And it's great that we get Splinter Cell back. I'm going to believe this, by the way. That's just what I'm going to further talk about, right? I'm very excited that this is happening. I do love Splinter Cell quite a bit, so I'm very excited that, this could happen. There will be that divide because there's a lot of people saying, well, we want Splinter Cell back, but is this the right time for Ubisoft? Is this the right era of Ubisoft to make a Splinter Cell game? You know what I mean? So we win in that we get a Splinter Cell game, but, would they do it justice? Would they do it well? And it's tough. Some people will say, I'm just downright negative. I'm really not. I try to see both sides. I would say I am definitely worried. It's hard to not be worried based off of how Ubisoft has handled pretty much everything else under the sun they've worked on. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, recently. I'm just talking about recently. Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Skull and Bones, Beyond Good and Evil 2. With that being said, Splinter Cell was once great. Okay, so let's make Splinter Cell great again. And honestly, I do think there's possibility there. I don't want to count it out just because it's Ubisoft. I've never hated, and obviously there's the split of, the allegations that's been, against Ubisoft, and then also just people not enjoying their games. I can be fine with if you don't like them because of the allegations. The other side of things, I don't hate Ubisoft as much as other people do. I haven't liked the last couple Watch Dogs games. Actually, just Watch Dogs Legion, I thought 2 was actually pretty good. Skull and Bones, I'm not happy with whatever the heck has gone on there. Beyond Good and Evil, but they come up with some interesting things. They're not the greatest developer or I guess publisher, but then they have their own development teams. But so I get it. It's definitely a mixed bag. It's not all the greatest news of all time, right? The greatest news of the entire thing is that at least we're getting it back. But then the question can become, and I don't blame people for saying it, right? Is it the right time for Ubisoft to be doing it? Because are they gonna ruin it? You know what I mean? Part of the reason I think they stopped. Now there's been various reasons kind of reported why they stopped. One of them being being popular Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs and stuff like that. And that Splinter Cell never really did do all that great in terms of sales. So maybe that, and also I think a lot of people would say this now, it's a very hard game to actually make these, Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon stuff. It's hard to transform Splinter Cell into Assassin's Creed, into Watch Dogs, right? It's pretty tough. And you could say, well, obviously, Alex, it shouldn't be that. You're right. It shouldn't be. But does Ubisoft want all their games to be that, right? Again, that's where there's that divide. That's where there's that anger. So I can see it. I do not blame you if you are, mad, or I don't look down on you, or don't, any of that stuff. So again, I do think it's good news that we're finally getting it. I don't love that the reason they're doing it is because they feel they've made people mad with the other stuff. You probably should have just done this first instead of bringing back the franchise in a mobile game or in VR and expected people to be okay with that. So the order to which they've done this, they're playing from behind, basically, right? Because this wasn't their plan. They didn't, they should have done this game first, and they didn't, and now people are mad at them, so they're trying to do it to win over the fans. I will say, regardless, it is, in a way, fan service, which I always appreciate when developers listen and when they do things. It's just, I would have preferred not this exact situation. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. All my social media stuff is in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.